Welcome, old friend, climb aboard, lend an ear. I'll tell you a story that once I did hear. It is an old salt's tale, and every bit true. A tale of adventure, of love and the blue. A story passed down from the old salt to me, a tale of vile pirates and of treachery, a tale of a young man, a girl and of love, and a lesson in faith in our captain above. Now before you listen, take heed and heave too. 'Tis not for the squeamish if lubbers be you. 'Tis a story of bloodshed, of guts and of gore, a tale like no other that you've heard before. It tells of great battles that ain't in your books. 'Tis a story of heroes, of treasure and crooks, an old sailor song full of heartache and sorrow, of yesterday's past and of fears for tomorrow, of keel hauls and shark bait and men of ill will, and the lust for the gold that drives some men to kill. Now don't forget courage and triumph and hope, and swashbuckling feats and swinging on ropes. So weigh anchor, crewmates, and haul the sheet in. The tale of the old salt is about to begin. Now it all got to going in a town on a bay, beside the great sea, in a land far away. In a time when the boats only moved with the blow, and sailors named ships after girls they did know. In that town lived a boy nary yet 17, in a small cottage house twixt the blue and the green. He lived there with father and mother and sis, a life-loving family with much happiness. Each day with his father, young Jonas would row, for the knots to the fishing grounds, both to and fro. They'd go find their catch, using seabirds to guide. Jonah's always at oars, while his father did ride. As he paddled along, his father would teach of the sea, of the wind, of the world past the beach. And Jonas is turned on working body and mind, so he'd grow to be strong and for wisdom to find. He learned how to see, to feel and to listen. No desk and no classroom, just his father and fishing. Joe's father, he taught him each lesson he knew, as his pa before him had passed it on too. Of love and compassion, of struggle and strife, navigation and seamanship, balance and life. Of winds and of battle and of tides, ebb and flow, and of casting a net for the day's catch below. He taught him of baiting, of weather and dangers, like shallow reefs, riptides, and motives of strangers. Of gluttony, of envy, of sloth, pride, and lust, and of greed and wrath, they turn you to dust. Of reading and charting and keeping his word, and of course not to buy every story he heard. He learned to survive on the land and the ocean, how to fight for what's right and to master emotion. Of strategy, weapons, and tending to tools, and why all good men choose to live by good rules. It oft seems so much, at times never ending, yet young Jonas kept at it, to his father's will bending. He worked how he worked, sometimes going near mad. It was hard growing up with his slave-driving dad. At times he got angry, as many boys do, for the truth was he worked more than any he knew. In those stress times, Pop would stop and explain that one day Joe'd know why he caused him such pain. He'd take his son's face in his calloused, worn hands and speak of time's flight and of hourglass sands. It builds character, Pop would say with a grin, and send him back to it with a tap on the chin. And Jonas would go, he respected his Pop, and he learned to push on even when he wanted to stop.
Now life wasn't all work. Some days he'd fool around and run with his chums in that small harbor town. They'd play ball and skip rocks, and they'd talk about girls, swim in the ocean and belly ride curls. Oh, speaking of lasses, Joe noticed one fair. She'd eyes like the sea and wavy brown hair, the daughter of Moses, the fish market's key. Christine was her name, and she made his heart leap. As she had rare beauty, both outside and in, and eye-pleasing curves and golden brown skin. She'd a smile on her face that she put there each day, and a passion for life, both at work and at play. In Jonas's mind, she was the catch of the land. He silently hoped one day he'd earn her hand. He'd see her each day as they brought fish to trade. She'd offer to help mend their nets that were frayed. Then they'd sit and they'd talk, and they'd smile, and they'd sew, and they'd laugh in that boat as the warm breeze would blow. They did this each day through countless sunsets, and the two bound true love, binding knots in those nets.
Now after a time a sickness came round. It laid many people 6 feet below ground. Jonah's sister went home as she died as she slept, for the 5-year-old Sally all bitterly wept. As sad as it is though when a child's called home first, we do well to remember there are still fates worse. The ways of our captain are tough things to judge. 'Tis best to accept them and not hold a grudge. He knows what is best though our seas oft seem rough. Whatever doesn't kill you makes you tough. The small seaside village had nearly shut down. The coughing and fever spread all over town. Jonah's father took ill even though he was strong. He sent Jonas fishing but could not go along. We're concerned for his folks, Jonas asked, should he stay? Though he knew without food they would all pass away. His fathers insisted, saying they'd need the meat if the town were to ever get back on its feet. He reminded young Jonas to stop on the way to get Christine's father who'd help him that day. He had planned it with Moses, the fish market man. Mo would help work the nets in his stead was the plan. for his mother and to father a shout. Hang in there, my papa, I'll return in no time, and we'll nurse you to health on fresh fish and old wine. Then off to Christine's in the still dark of night, with a plan to reach fishing grounds before first light. He'd go out with Moses, for that helped them all. Besides, the fish market had come to a stall, as most of the men were in bed with the cough. So for the sake of the village, in the dark they set off.
When he got to the house, old Moses chimed, "Wait, I haven't quite finished preparing the bait." So Jonas went into the house to say hi to his lovely Christine, who awoke with a sigh on seeing her sleep and then stir and then wake. He knew it was time for that big chance to take. So he knelt by her bedside, taking her hand in his, and gently leaning over, they shared their first kiss. And oh, what a kiss on the scale of all kisses. 'Twas the kiss that turns a girl from a miss to a missus. What a kiss, oh that kiss, and the tingling inside. 'Twas the tingle reserved for a man and his bride. As their lips softly parted, he swam in her eyes. Then he spoke a few words, and she started to cry. Today I will ask for your father's permission. I'll ask for your hand when I take him out fishing. That is, if you'll have me, if you'll be my wife and kiss me each morning for the rest of my life. And she kissed him again, and she smiled, and he knew. At sunset, Christine, I will come back for you. And so they set off in the dark and the haze, and Jonas rode easily out of the bay. But oh, for the dark, they could not see the ship at anchor offshore on a villainous trip. A foul, vicious man, Captain Jack to his crew,
but Blackjack the pirate to me and to you. He had traveled the world and had plundered it all. He preyed on the weak, on the sick and the small. He'd pull into a port in the dark of the night and sneak into town while there still was no light. With all sorts of weapons, his cruel cutthroat bands would row in longboats pulling up on the sands. From there they'd spread out 2 or 3 to a house, each one filthy and silent like a blood-sucking louse. Then they'd kill all the townsfolk and they'd steal their possessions, but keep some girls alive for after these sessions. They'd fill up their boats and they'd burn down the villages. Then they'd laugh and get drunk and all brag of their pillages. The young girls they'd throw in the hole down below to sell them as slaves in places only they'd go. Or they'd keep them on board, or they'd kill them, or worse, depending on their flights of fancy and purse. And on some poor dead soul, Blackjack always pinned his mark as a warning to those they missed not to embark. 'Twas a playing card blackjack with a patch or one eye and a short clear inscription, come for me and you die. And so it did happen in that quiet town. They came in just to kill and burn it to the ground.
Men tried to fight, but the cough made them weak, and they fell one by one to the ground in a heap. And the pirates kept only one girl for to keep. 'Twas the last fair Christine who had gone back to sleep. And they sneaked in her room, in her bed she was snuggled, and they bagged her up before she could even have struggled. Then on to Joe's house, that was not the same story. There they found a fight, bloody crimson and gory. Jonah's mother was cooking when they came through the door. She threw at them hot stew and dishware and more. And this awoke father, who sprang up from his bed, even though he were in a state ready near dead. He ran to the kitchen, on the floor lay his wife, stuck to the hilt with a long pirate knife. Grabbing pirates, snapping necks with his bare hands, he sharply latched on to a cast iron pan that he swung like a madman, and he crushed pirate heads. Though they stabbed him and beat at him, 7 lay dead. Then a loud shot rang out, and a pain pierced his back. Turning to face it, he saw Captain Jack, their eyes locked, and begrudgingly
Papa fell to the floor, stammering, "So you're the one I prepared young Jonas for." He'll come his last words as he crawled to his wife, and one final embrace marked the end of their life. Old Blackjack stood puzzling, then he shot him again. And to Papa's old shirt, his calling card he did pin. And then he was gone to his ship and away, with a boat full of booty before even midday.
All this time Jonas and Moses did fish. They spoke of the marriage and of Jonah's wish. Old Moses consented and said he'd be proud. He actually hooted and smiled out loud, for he already thought of young Joe as a son. And now they'd be family, he and Christine as one. So they fished all day long till the sun started down, and they'd filled the boat full before they turned around. They were pleased with the catch and the pack they had struck, and they hoped that it meant a swift turn in their luck. But as they approached from a distance their town, Jonas watched Moses smile make a turn upside down. The old man's face cringed and his eye dropped a tear. Jonas turned and looked shoreward. He shuddered with fear. He saw his poor village all broken and burned. He picked up his pace. He churned and he churned. He looked for Christine to come out to the docks, to tie off their dock lines and help unload stocks. But she didn't come as she had in days past. Jonah's heart sunk with horror as he paddled on fast. On reaching the shoreline, he leaped from the boat. He soon found his parents, and he saw Blackjack's note. Not there was Christine, and Jonas knew why. He swore then an oath, Captain Blackjack would die.
His heart slowly sank to the depths down inside. This road killed his parents and had stolen his bride. So he built from the rubble a pyre for the dead, and kneeling beside it, sorrowful said, "Dear Father, forgive me for not being here to protect my loved ones." He spoke with a tear. Lord, ashes to ashes and dust to dust, into your hands we commit these good people with trust. And now, Lord, please guide me as I track down this fiend who has killed all our townsfolk and taken Christine. And when I find him and his men, guide my sword, for only with you can I beat them, my Lord. Rose silent, and he stopped his emotion. He began to prepare to go out on the ocean. He gathered supplies, fresh water and food, and weapons to take on the buccaneer brood. From 6 ransacked boats he took rigging and spars, and a compass and sextant for reading the stars, and sails and a mast that would stand strong and tall. In one night he and Moses had readied it all. From the town's broken fleet they'd build one small fast ship, and christening her Christine's Hope, they set out on their trip, hoisting sail with the sunrise and out of the bay. A strong wind behind them, they got underway. Not quite sure how to follow, old Mo near resigned, but Jonah said trust and look, there'll be a sign. And quick shot thereafter they were rubbed by a whale, who nudged them to starboard with a flick of her tail. In response, Jonah shifted his course and steered right. Then the wind shifted with them and snapped their sails tight. Like a seafaring bloodhound, Joe had picked up their trail. Saw a rum bottle cork out in a half-broken pail. Then on for 2 days they went, following fast. the wind pushing hard and bending their mast. And Christine's hope skimmed along at a far better speed than them that they chased who did near a day's lead. And of them what went on, you might care to know. It seems Jack took a fancy to the young lass below. He had her brought up and safely locked in his room, another ploy to steal treasure, that of a promised groom. Each night he went to her, but she spat in his face. And she kicked him and punched him and drove him from the place. And for that she received no food and near no fresh water. Still it could have been worse for old Moses' daughter. See, that room did keep her safe from old Black Jack's sick baby. Well, that and their fear of his punishment levy. For any who crossed him would sure pay the price. He'd say, keel hauls, my favorite, and plank walks, also nice. See, he'd tie a strong line from the ship's fore to aft, then drag a bound man along the length of the craft. They'd be cut by sharp barnacles affixed to the bottom. Some men would survive, but others, sharks got 'em. Now some would get lucky and just lose a leg and hobble their lives out on a wooden peg. But one thing is sure, this a pirate knows true: if you defy your captain, he'll be coming for you. And he'll teach you a lesson you'll never forget, of the sea and the terrors that dwell among it.
The chase went on day after day for a week. Barely a word did young Jonah speak. He just sat at the tiller, alert to their signs, the floatings and refuse that follow behind. As they sailed, Joe remembered the days of his youth, recalling his father and his words of truth. He then understood why he'd never give away, and why he would learn lessons while others did play. He saw them in his mind's eye out on the sea, and heard Papa's words with a keen clarity. One lesson particular, clear as the day, of how a good hunter must think like his prey, and how you could always lure fish to their fate with proper persuasion and some well-placed bait. And this was the same he thought as he did plan, though instead of a fish, he was hunting a man. He envisioned several traps that might get him aboard amongst that vile, treacherous pirating horde. He thought to o'ertake them, then act as adrift, or flag them down passing to ask for a lift. He knew that a pirate couldn't pass easy pickings. Perhaps he could just trick them, then give them their lickings. But he also knew any plan made would be wrong, and that he'd need to adjust to the new things he saw. Truth be told, at that time, Joe'd no idea what he'd do, and he figured he'd likely die fighting the crew. But that didn't shake him. If he died, he cared not. He was bound for his love and to kill the whole lot. He trusted his fathers, both the flesh and the spirit. So as to the battle, he needed not fear it. He just rode the wind hard till he spotted their sails, then held up and hove to just beyond their sight line of their tail. And there he remembered his mother's words too, of courage and faith, and to always be true. Her words ringing clear as he asked for God's favor. The prayers of his children our captain does savor.
Now off in the distance a tempest did brew. Straight up to the heavens the thunder clouds grew. Hey, that shaped Joe's plan, it could be their advantage. Perhaps give them surprise, and with that they might manage. Storm, nobody thinks of attacks. They're too busy with fronts to be watching their backs. So Joe dropped the mast and he set up his oars. Then he called on his anger and energy stores. And Moses got ready with a hook on a line to throw and attach at appropriate time. And God did his work with an ominous scene as the sky turned from blue to a strange eerie green. Then the wind stopped, then waited, then they roared back to life. They ripped through Jack's sails like a well-honed knife. They snapped off the main mast and the fore she broke too. Pirates worked desperately just to make do. 'Twas a mate on a yardarm who rode to his doom as it broke through the decking above Christine's room. went up through the hole where he fell, climbed out of her prison and straight into hell. 4 pirates, they saw her into the mizzen mast. They took her and bound her and tied her up fast, and the waves crashed upon her from over the rail, and the ship advanced little with just the one sail. Brave Jonas rowed hard in pursuit of that mob, while Moses kept keen eyes affixed to their bob. One hand on the rudder to keep them on track, the other o'er his brow to fight the rain back. And Jonas stroked on at a furious pace. He clearly was gaining and winning the race. Old Moses was stunned at the strength that he showed, and was glad for the days when his father he'd rowed. When they got near the ship, not a soul aboard saw, so Moses prepared to toss his grappling claw. But Jonas, on watching how the ship rose and fell, pulled Moses up short. He'd a new plan to tell. He told him he'd need him to stay with the boat, to pick them up safely, then back home to float. He said, pull up starboard, but stay off a ways. I'll need maybe 10 minutes to end Blackjack's days. If Christine is on board, I will find her, don't worry. I'll find her and free her, and we'll leave in a hurry. When the time's up, don't tarry, you know what to do. Sink the ship where she stands and say a prayer for us too.
Grabbing a rapier, he dove in the sea and swam toward the ship, calling on memory. He remembered his days as a boy in the surf, riding waves on his belly right up to the turf. And using that knowledge, boarded the ship, rode a swell to the deck's height and over the lip. Then finding his feet, he withdrew his blade and set off to kill pirates and rescue his mate. Just started searching when he heard her scream. There, tied to the mizzen, was Christine. It was clear she had seen him, but so had the crew. They came straight on for him with weapons drawn too. Jonas' focus grew sharper as the faces flew by. He saw all his dead townsfolk before his mind's eye. And there was his love bound, who knew what they'd done. He motioned them closer. It was 12 against 1. Now 12, 'twas a blessing, for it could have been worse.
See, the rest were laid up by an ironic curse. Seems the same nasty sickness that made their last plunder easy had most trapped in quarters, drunken, coughing, and queasy. But still 12 remained. They were there and were ready. Jonah surveyed them carefully. Steady, boy, steady. Then his arms flexed in hand, tension firm round his blade. His teeth clenched, his eyes burned with fury and rage. He glared at those faces with disdain for them all, completely outmatched, yet he welcomed the brawl. Then they came at him too, even 3 at a time, swinging broadswords and daggers and clubs of the pine. They hit him and cut him, but though they bruised and drew blood, each blow seemed to make him stronger. He fought like a flood. Their advances were futile, though they tried every trick. Those who came at him soon met his blade, punch or kick. Pirates swung in on ropes, and they ran in headlong. But Joe met each attack of the bloodthirsty throng, and huge waves pitched the ship, washing 2 overboard, and 7 were slain at the point of his sword. He fought with a strength beyond that of one man, and he'd killed near the dozen when the last of them ran. They scurried below to find places to hide. Even they could see this man had love on his side.
Old Black Jack screamed cowards and unsheathed his metal, and the winds and the rain stopped, and the ocean did settle, and the sky turned back to that green eerie hue, as if to set the tone for the fight to ensue. Jonah stood wrapped in blood from his head to his toe, no fear, looking straight through the eyes of his foe. With a cough, Jack surveyed his then death-covered boat. He slurred, "I take it you're Jonas. Did you not get my note?" But Jonas's face ne'er even changed its expression. He had come for his girl and to teach Jack a lesson. And Jack tipped up his blade as to offer clean fight, but then quick pulled the pistol he'd held hidden from sight. He squeezed off the triggers, his powder was wet. Aye, a fair match today would be all he would get.
Then he quick threw the gun, and he lunged with his blade. Jonas calmly just parried and knocked it away. And as he did so, Jonas lopped off his ear, giving Jack a fair taste of his past victim's fear. Then round in a circle went the two in a dance, each waiting for the other to make an advance. Jonas, the fisherman, patiently waited, and as was his habit, he thought and he baited. And knowing a pirate thinks, take what you can, Joe weighed out his options and hatched out his plan. As the ship rose and fell, he feigned that he slipped. His balance was lost, his young sea legs tripped. Captain Blackjack rushed in, he'd swallowed the bait. He knew exactly what hit him, but not till too late. For strong, with a finishing blow to kill dead, Jonas rode the sea upward and took off his head. And standing above him, he pulled out the card, now wrinkled and bloodied and quite battle scarred. And with pure contempt for him, flung it at Jack, who lay on the deck with no head on his back.
Jonas rushed to Christine and he cut free the ropes, and she hugged him and kissed him, fulfilling her hopes. But wait, what was that? A strange thump from below. Jonas turned quick to take on a new unknown foe, but none came out for him, which at first seemed quite queer. Then he recognized the pounding that came to his ear. He ran to the ship's rail and saw Moses taking hacks, putting holes in the hull with a ramrod and axe. Most stopped but to sigh and to give them a wink, then went back his job making that foul ship sink. On breaching the hull and peering inside, he let out a chuckle and his eyes opened wide. For by chance or by fate, while performing his duty, old Mo had struck the ship's hold, which was filled with her booty. And so, as was prudent and fit in good measure, they filled Christine's hope with a bounty of treasure. Then the three sailed away as that foul ship went down, setting off with the sunset to go rebuild their town. And Jonas proclaimed as the ship sank, "'Tis done." And he knelt and thanked God for the victory won. And that's the whole tale the old Saul told me, friend. Well, except of course, and they all lived well after the end.